Hi, my name's Jackie James. I'm the founder of the VA Project, an online coaching and mentoring program that has been helping virtual assistants to change their lifestyles since 2015. Welcome to the VA Project blogcast, where I will share what I did to go from a corporate career to running my own business and living a debt-free lifestyle. If I can do it, you can too. Let's jump into the episode. Hi, it is Jackie James here from the VA Project blogcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. I wanted to have a chat to you today about it has to be the biggest learning for my business. It was the game changer in the early years that moved my business from static to stratosphere. And that is my employee mindset. Now, I had been working in business administration since I was 26 years of age. And in 2011, I turned, a reasonable age, shall we say. Just so you know, right now I am 62. 62 and 10 months to be precise. So it took me a lot of conditioning by the corporate sector to be able to get rid of all that so I could actually build a business that would change my lifestyle. Because when I first started out with JMJ, that didn't look like it was ever going to happen because I was stuck in a particular mindset. And one day after working, until 3 a.m., I think it was, in the morning, for a client's website was going live that day, and the client had messaged at 9:30 the night before saying he wanted some changes making before the website went live. These were major structural changes, and I got the web developer on the phone who, luckily for the client, lived not far away from me, and we were able to work together until 3 o'clock in the morning, finishing the client's website. When we provided the update to the client, he was very happy and it was all wonderful. And I let them know that their last-minute changes meant that this person and I were working until 3 a.m. in the morning so that at 9 a.m. they could flick the switch and they would have this all singing, all dancing website. The reason we did what we did was not because we wanted the client to be happy. The reason I did what I did by contacting the web developer at 9:30 p.m. at night was because I was still thinking like an employee. Did I charge the client until 3 a.m. in the morning? No, I didn't. Why didn't I do that? Because the client had been with me since the beginning. We were probably 18 months into the working relationship, and they paid a stipend or what you would know as a retainer every month. And as part of that retainer, which was not very big at all, was presumed that I would do the work that they needed me to do. And that is because I was thinking like an employee. I get a wage, and that wage has to last out a month because when I was working in corporate, you got paid every month. So again, there's this trigger. The client pays me every month, so it's a wage. It's not for the work that I've done. That's another reason why I'm not a huge fan of retainers. It doesn't help that mindset at all. But anyway, that's a different blogcast. So let's get into my little learnings from this. So it took me a while to realise that the client is not the boss. You're the boss. It's your business, your time, your rules. You have no idea how I needed to cement that into my brain before I could grasp the concept of it at all. So my employee mindset was the one that said yes to everything because I had been paid to say yes, paid to do what the boss said when the boss told me to do it, because that's how an employee thinks. The boss comes along, gives you the work to do, so you do the work, and then you do more work and you do other things that are outside the normal scope. You might help somebody else or do something that's not quite in your job description, and then you just get paid and you go on your merry way. But that's not the point of starting a business. There's a goal in mind. You want to achieve something. And while you're an employee and have an employee mindset, you will never achieve greatness or what you perceive to be greatness. For me, it was a debt-free lifestyle. That was my thing, and my why on why that needed to happen was a huge, hairy, audacious goal. It was, I won't go into it on this blogcast because that's something totally separate. But having a big why keeps you focused on looking for changes, looking on ways to improve. And my why to achieving a debt-free lifestyle was not going to change if I retained an employee mindset. It requires you to take really deliberate and intentional approaches. So I'm going to give you 10 little strategies that can help you, because a virtual assistant is a boss, not an employee. You are only an employee if your client pays you holiday pay, sick pay, if they pay superannuation, so this is Australia, if they pay you superannuation, and if they have work cover for you. That's an employee. Unless you're offshore virtual assistant and you work through an agency, that's different. But for the most part, Australian virtual assistants are not employees. They are bosses. So here's the 10 strategies to help you think like a boss. Clearly define the expectations. Ask yourself, what are your expectations for your business? Are you clear on how you want it to run? Because if you're not, you need to get a clear framework. What needs to happen for you to start thinking like the boss of your business? Undertake some coaching. So if you need to undertake professional development, aligning yourself with a coach or mentor can be really helpful here. I've found that you need great communication, decision-making, problem-solving, delegation, and strategic thinking to be a boss. Employees don't need any of that. They just need procedures on how to do stuff, and they show up at work, do the job, go home, and don't think about the job. The next one is to take ownership. So taking ownership and being accountable for all that you do. Even when the stuff goes wrong, what you do here can impact your decision-making and your business as a whole. So sometimes I've been known to even put my hand up if it's something is not my fault. I've owned it because it's the right thing to do and it moves things along. If no one puts their hand up and no one owns it, then stuff stagnates and it builds in a layer of untrustworthiness. Is that a word even? But it allows doubt to creep in. And that happens in an employee situation. But if you're the boss, you need to be acting like the boss. So you need to also foster a growth mindset. So be encouraged and embrace the challenges that come your way. Learn from the failures and seek continuous improvement. You should see setbacks and obstacles as opportunities for business growth and development. I actually had somebody say to me a while ago, and this really surprised me because my brain doesn't switch off. I have never considered myself to be an entrepreneur, but I was telling him about the different businesses that I have under the umbrella, ideas I had coming up, things I wanted to implement and get involved in. And they said, you are not a business owner, you're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs come in all different shapes and sizes, and I guess I am proof that that's so. So you need to think differently in order to grow, because if you don't change your thought process, nothing's going to happen. And I also love to use critical thinking and problem solving. As the tagline says for my business, small business solution architect. That's what I do. Clients to come to me with a problem and I solve it. It's as simple as that. You are solving the problems for your clients. That's why they go to you. So think critically to develop problem-solving skills, and not everyone who is a boss is a natural at problem-solving or analysing situations. By learning to consider different perspectives can help make you make more informed decisions. Because you can't make a decision for yourself or your business if you don't know all the bits and pieces and the pros and cons that go around making that decision. That's why you need to make informed decisions. You need to know what's going to happen if you do and what's going to happen if you don't, and then you make a decision. Are you going to go to the left or are you going to go to the right? A huge one for me, and this is something that I didn't do for a long time, was celebrate and recognise the achievements and growth that I've been through in order to attain this different mindset. Have I rewarded myself with a designer handbag? No. But I did reward myself with a beautiful Mimco wallet quite a while ago. But then after that, I thought, oh, well, that's fine. I've got this beautiful wallet that I drag out of my bag every now and then because I don't go out shopping all the time because I'm too busy working and building a business. And I celebrate the wins now by just reminding myself I am really good at what I do. Because one of the big things with an employee mindset I've found is that you don't do that because you're paid to achieve an outcome as an employee. That's already built into all the benefits and everything that you get as an employee. When I worked for Myer, I was executive assistant to a management board director. And we had worked together for many years. And I was the only, at the time, this is 2010 probably, I was the only executive assistant in the building, and there were lots of them, to achieve an A in my performance review. That's how they were graded. I achieved an A. And I remember thinking to myself, that's worth something. Not so much in the building. It's not like you ran around and went, I got an A, I got an A. But it told me that I could do better. I was not going to be promoted to anything else other than an executive assistant in the business. But I knew that if Myer valued me as highly as it did in my performance review, then that meant I was worth something. And that sparked the mindset for creating a business. What if I could take this outside? This is even before I heard about virtual assistants, before I heard it was a thing. And it's been around for years. I didn't, create being a virtual assistant. There were many before me. And I just didn't move in that world. But now I'm in that world, all I see is virtual assistants. It's a bit like when you're pregnant, all you see is pregnant women everywhere. And when you're not pregnant, you don't see pregnant women. Or you own a red car, so everywhere there's red cars. It's a bit strange how that happens. But once I made the change and started JMJ on the 11th of May 2011, I had forgotten to leave the employee mindset behind because nobody told me about that. It was stuff I had to learn the hard way. Now, the next podcast is about how I lost $12,000 and found freedom. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you tune in for that one. That is going to be a ripper of a blogcast. So I hope these little points have helped you in explaining why you need to be thinking like a boss. If you had a bricks and mortar business and every day you had to go there and unlock the door and lock the door up when you left, and you were the only person that worked there, you're the boss. But when we sit in front of a computer in our home offices, that mindset is harder to shake, especially if you've been in the workforce for many years beforehand. It becomes a learned condition and you need to unlearn it. And I've unlearned it. I decide when I work, when I don't work, who I work for, and I no longer need to worry about the employee mindset holding me back. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next podcast. Episode 6, How I Lost $12,000 and Found Freedom. See you then. Thank you so much for listening in to the VA Project Blogcast. For more great resources, visit www.thevaproject.com and start changing your lifestyle. And if you're sick of getting lost in the mega online groups, join our online community on Facebook. Simply search the VA Project and I'll look forward to welcoming you.